We are now seeing how much of our insane levels of immigration are hurting us and how our politicians are fooling you about all this. Now, when I say insane, I mean it. I mean, last financial year, we took in an incredible 520,000 immigrants, more than 500,000 net in a single year. We increased our population by nearly 2%, by 2 Hobarts in 1 year. But are we building 2 Hobarts worth of houses every year for them all? 2 Hobarts of roads and trains and dams for their showers and gardens? Well, you know the answer. It's nothing like it. In fact, just when we need even more houses for all these new people, we've got a massive slowdown in building. We've got rising costs, a shortage of labour, supply chain issues, interest rates. It means a huge slump. 27,000 houses that were approved to start aren't going ahead now, or maybe ever. Now, that's one big reason why house prices have soared and why rental vacancies are now just 1.4%. Now, Claire O'Neill, our Home Affairs Minister, claimed last year, well, don't worry, she's right on top of this problem. Immigration numbers are now going to be slashed.
The kind of reduction in migration numbers that the government is driving for here are very, very substantial. We're talking about, going off a peak of what the numbers were last year, and the budget projections will suggest that that number will halve over a 2-year period. Very significant difference. And that's really important, Laura, because we've got a generation of Australians my age and younger who are living in our capital cities and feel that home ownership is a pipe dream for them, who can't even get into a rental. And it is not the time to be running very large migration programs.
So she perfectly understood the problem, but she was conning you, and so was the Prime Minister today.
Prime Minister, given permanent and long-term overseas arrivals are outpacing the construction of new homes at a rate of almost 4 to 1, can the Prime Minister tell the House how many new homes or units were built in January?
Australian population is now expected to be smaller in 2030-31 than the pre-pandemic forecast. For 2030-31, the expected population is 600,000 people, or 2.1%, below what was projected prior to the onset of the pandemic.
Don't trust what they say, just see what they do. Because instead of cutting immigration, they've ramped it up again. This is unbelievable. The immigration figures for January, just been released, net immigration for just 1 month, 55,000 more people coming into the country, net. That's the highest intake for any January on record. So how many more homes do these people need? Another 20,000 when we're already not even building enough for Australians right here? So why is the government doing all this? Sucking in incredible numbers of immigrants when we don't have the houses for them, when unemployment is rising, when our cities are full, when we're going to struggle to find the water for them come the next drought. Why is this happening? The answer's simple. If they didn't suck in all these new taxpayers, the government's budget would blow and the economy would be in recession. And if you think, well, that might be a reasonable excuse for more migrants, think again, because more people means you also have to divide the cake between more mouths. And when you look closer, you will see that per person we're actually getting a lot poorer, as Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor pointed out today.
The latest national accounts confirm that Australia is in an entrenched per capita recession, or a family recession. At the same time, disposable income per person, living standards, have collapsed by 7.5% under Labor. Right now, population growth is the only thing left driving the economy.
And this big switcheroo, more immigrants but lower living standards for the rest of us, became clownishly clear today when the New South Wales Premier complained, hey, with all these immigrants pouring into New South Wales, its share of GST tax is stretched too far. The GST today works out to $2,902 for everyone in New South Wales per person. But next year, with all these new people, it's going to be $80 a head less. Not fair, he said. But what Chris Minns didn't figure out is that for every state, it's the same story, more or less. More people means their GST take is also stretched over more people. And the real problem here is immigration. So then Scott asked, well, why don't you just go and tell your mates in the Albanese government to cut immigration, turn off this fire hydrant? Suddenly he went all shy.
It's certainly not up to me to do that because the Commonwealth's responsible for immigration policy.
See, the fact is the premiers are also hooked on getting all these new immigrants to help their own budgets, even though they'll make you pay the price. We'll all get poorer. Our cities will get crowded until they choke. And the big joke is that Chris Minns, who's now complaining, oh, how immigration is costing New South Wales, just 6 months ago was claiming he actually wanted more immigrants because he said they could then build the houses we now need for, wait, these same immigrants.
That's part of the reason why we're supportive of the Commonwealth Government's decision to lift immigration into New South Wales, notwithstanding the fact that we'll take not the majority but the greatest number of inbound immigrants. A lot of that labour coming into the state will be directed to the housing market, and we need them. We need them to build houses and apartments.
So we need to bring in more immigrants to build houses for more immigrants. I mean, seriously. And we still don't build enough of them. We are chasing our tail, yet getting further and further behind. This immigration racket is a con, and the people being conned by our politicians are you.